Welcome to this interesting world of academics. This world is not only interesting, but it is challenging also. We are calling this as a noble profession because we are creating the careers of many students. Today we are going to talk about and discuss how the teaching and learning process has evolved and the role of a teacher in this particular process. As you all know, the world is changing rapidly, and the pace at which this world is changing is unimaginable. The technology which is at our doorstep, we need to acknowledge that technology and we need to use that technology along with nurturing that technology for the future of our students. I just want to take an example of advertisements, how that particular industry has evolved. I wanted to give this example because in education also similar things are happening. For example, if you see here a hoarding at a busy street, some advertisement is there, and people, those who are moving maybe through their vehicles, can just view what's happening there and what's there the advertisement is. They just simply acknowledge in their mind. Probably they take a decision whether to buy that product or not, maybe not, but that advertisement remain there, and that is the first stage in the advertisement world. Then came the rolling advertisement using some LED signs, because the advertisement which we saw before was not having any flexibility to change. If you want to change that advertisement, you have to remove that advertisement, and that was the biggest problem which was solved by these type of advertisements called as rolling advertisement. In that rolling advertisement, you can add, you can delete certain advertisement which is required. But afterwards, what is there is a big screen having many colors which you can incorporate. It is an LCD screen, and this can be used for advertising the high end products, but these are all catchy advertisements. But the world of advertisement has gone to next level where it is a wall. It is basically a wall on which you can put your advertisements and people can view those advertisements. But the biggest problem in all these three advertisement techniques is though there is a flexibility, but that flexibility cannot be ascertained by a feedback by the customer. Whether that customer has reached to that market segment or not, nobody knows. And that is where the new advertisement technique, which you all are aware about, has come into existence, and you must be knowing about these symbols like YouTube and Google and Instagram and Facebook, where the advertisement is on your desktop, and whatever type of sites which you are viewing at or referring to or visiting to, those type of advertisements are being shown to you. So, it becomes a personal connect between you and the product, and that is how the entire advertisement segment has changed drastically. What has changed basically in that segment is it has become too flexible, it is too personal also, because whatever you like will be shown to you, and that is the reason. The rate of the success of these type of advertisements are very, very high, because they are focusing on the targeted audience. But the aspect of this data which came in existence and which is playing a crucial role, which is through the feedback through the usage data, whether you have seen the advertisement and afterwards if you have bought something, there is a relation between the advertisement. It means that now that advertisement is catchy, the place of that advertisement is good, and repetition can happen. Exactly is the scenario as far as the education sector is concerned. Education sector is changing rapidly, as I said before, but let us understand how that education sector has evolved as an education system, starting with the Gurukul system, where Guru used to ask the students to be with him or her under a banyan tree, an open environment, teach them certain things, the skills, most importantly the life skill. But the ultimate aim of that Gurukul system was to make him or her a human being. That's how the Gurukul system used to be. But in the pre-independence region, that is the British Raj, this entire education system was revamped by Britishers, keeping in mind that the outcome of the education system to support the needs of the Britishers, all the projects which they are undertaking. And that is how the system is in a form of a slave mode. But after independence, there was a thought which was there, which says that we need to change that education scenario, and we have to make sure that our students are ready for the life challenges, which are enormous. And that is how slowly the system has changed, the education scenario has changed. Now we are focusing on grades, CGPA, SGPA, and of course we are focusing on extracurricular activities also. It is not only the profession in which you are studying, you are being given other blend of the activity also, and that is how the today's education system is moving towards. But what are the challenges and why have you changed actually? If our system after independence is good enough to tackle many challenges, but it is not true, because we were told, and I am a teacher and it pains me if somebody says your students are too theoretical, they do not have exposure to their laboratory too much. They lack in professional attributes which are important as far as a professional life is concerned, like timeliness, communication and thinking ability. The curriculum which we have and the way we assess and evaluate our students, we have lacking in the spirit of thinking ability, and that is why there has to be a radical change in the education system, because of which the new education policy which was rolled out by the government, central government in 2019, focuses on reducing the rote learning of facts and mechanical procedures. It is not a test of a memory. If somebody is studying not to memorize something, but to understand the concepts and the facts, and that is where the students, those who are part of this entire system, must ensure that they are successful professionals in any field. And that is how this education policy is being rolled out, and that education policy will certainly have an impact on our life as a teacher also. What is that? It is basically multidisciplinary, and as we all know, the entire gamut around us, the industrial gamut or the industrial services which we all are talking about, these all are multidisciplinary. So, to solve a problem, any problem related to an industry or any problem related to research organization, need the discipline of engineering, but not only one. There are multiple disciplines, they have to work together. So, we have to break the silos which are already there in the form of disciplines like mechanical engineering or instrumentation and control engineering. So, these are the silos which we need to break, because a mechanical engineer needs to understand automation concepts, because that is part of his or her life. And that is why this education policy will definitely talk about breaking the silos. Now, here our role as a teacher has to change, because the new policy expects us to understand what others are doing, how to collaborate with other disciplines, how to work in a team. These are the aspects which are very, very essential for all of us to realize, and that is where the community, the teaching community needs to be changed. So, what is, in a nutshell, what is that national education policy which has just completed 1 year? There is an emphasis on learning to learn, because every time new technologies are coming, You cannot come back to the educational institutes and spend couple of years and learn those things and go back. It's not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen. At the same time, the concept of an institution or a college for 8 hours has gone. You cannot be a student only for 8 hours, or you cannot be a teacher only for 8 hours. 16 hours unsupervised student may not do well is the concept behind this blended learning. In the blended learning, expectation is a student will learn on the campus and then he will take up some assignments to home, and then there would be, and that's most important aspect of our role, there will be supervision through technology. And that's where it's interdisciplinary also, because the group of teachers from other disciplines will come together, work together and make sure that things are happening the way they are supposed to happen. Now, what is this new education policy all about? If you look at the number of things which are happening, at the center stage there is a career. Now, this career can change. The moment you enter after completing the graduation, and the teacher is supposed to guide the student to choose the career, to be successful in the career, which is the center. So, the education will continue and the education will ensure that knowledge and skill both will be imparted. But while doing it, the aspect of capturing which knowledge or which skill that student has gathered or mastered must be documented. Now, that is the Herculean task which is in front of all of us as a teachers. There will be on the job training. Many companies are opening their training schools. There would be on the job, but let us not forget this on the job training is only related to that particular job, and if I want to change my ability, if I want to change my role, I have to change the goal in my life as far as the knowledge is concerned, which already I have. And that is where you will have to go back to the education, and that particular sign indicates that you will have to go back to the education, attain those skills, and that is where on and off you will be on the campus. So, you should have that flexibility. Now, the question in front of all the teachers, or the challenge in front of all the teachers, is how to deal with this when a student is not in front of me. Still, I have to maintain the record of a student. Next time when he or she comes, I have to start with whatever basic things which he has already attained, and I have to move forward. That is my role as a teacher, and that is what the education policy is expecting from us. Looking at this entire discussion, you might have heard and you might have realized that the role has to be changed. You cannot remain only as a teacher, but in that, whenever there is a change in role, certain tools and technologies will come to your rescue, and those tools and technologies we need to master, we need to focus on, and we have to ensure that these technologies are used in our day-to-day teaching learning process. Unless and until we do that, effective teaching will never happen, because the students have changed their role. They are expecting much more than a normal curriculum. The industry is also expecting that the time required for a student to be on board must be reduced drastically, and that is where the challenge has come, and that challenge has posed another challenge on all of us, that we need to change our role. Instead of a teacher, we have to become a facilitator. One of the aspects of a facilitator is the evaluation process through which we are grading a student. That evaluation process or the assessment process has to be changed drastically. There has to be radical steps which we all have to take so as to ensure that our grade report is the true reflection of the knowledge and skill the student has gained within a short period when he or she was with us. And that's what I'm going to talk about it in the next session, about what change would be there. Thank you so much.